Velkommen til Bratislava. Olé, olé, olé! Norge, olé, olé, olé! Norge, olé! Norge, olé! Norge, olé!
Oh, det er fris for kamera.
Jeg må vente litt på en og gå bak han.
0-4 Austria against 0-4 Norway as we get down to games 5, 6, and 7. And for these two teams, along with Italy, games 5, 6, and 7, very important.
They present the opportunity to stay in this tournament, win a game or two, and make sure that you return to this main pool next year. Both teams knew that the first 4 games were going to be difficult. But they also knew that these were the games at the end of their tournament that are the winnable games for them to secure their berth next year. And I think both teams will have a fresh, positive attitude about their prospects, knowing that they're facing a team that they play well, they think they can win.
Bernard Starkbaum will start in goal for Austria. He has faced 73 shots in the 2 games that he has played. Speculation was that Dave Kickert might get the call, but it is Starkbaum that gets the start, and Henrik Holm will start for Norway, and this one is underway. Polos will play for Mathis Olem. He'll send it in. Herberger is back for it, and Herberger up with it for Austria. Peter Schneider will send this up to the blue line. It does not get out. Olem stays on it. Plays it down for Thoresen. Thoresen's cross-ice pass intercepted by Palestrang. And Palestrang, the long lead pass intended for Peter Schneider, will go for icing.
These two teams have not played each other since 2011, so it's hard to put much stock in their recent history, in which Norway's won the last couple games, but you know, we're talking about a decade ago, so it doesn't really matter. Austria a little bit better supported here, their fans coming over for this early afternoon game.
Goal scoring has been a problem for both of these teams so far, which is not a surprise when you look at the competition that they have had so far. Long wrister in by Lasund, and that is caught and held by Starkbaum.
If I'm a player on one of these teams, I almost can park all the stuff that has mostly been negative in the first 4 games. The goals against, the minuses, the no goals, the power play not working, the penalty kill gets scored on, whatever. It's like a different tournament for them. The first 4 games versus the next 3, it's different competition, entirely different existence.
Different pace to the game, everything. Hofer giving chase in on Lasund, gives him a bump. And the puck was about to head down the ice, comes off the linesman. And Unterweger will go back for Shumnig. Shumnig through the middle. Hofer takes the return feed from Michael Raffel. Raffel up with it in the high slot, trying to get around Christian Forsberg, could not. Hofer's on it, sends it back for Shumwig. Shumwig slap shot. Left pad save made by Henrik Holm. Trentness will chase this down for Norway, but Austria right back in with Raffel. Michael Raffel being watched there by Christian Forsberg. Raffel will drop it back. Schlacker takes it wide. Schlacker to the front of the net, off a skate. Puck is still loose.
What a
Puck.
box out by Johansson on Hofer. That was textbook. Beautiful work as the loose puck was there and available, but Johansson just would not let 23 in red get near it.
And within the rules of the game.
No penalty should have been called.
Hauge gets to center, knocked off his stick by Rockenwald. And back up for Christian Bull. The long shot, and Starkbaum will take that in the midsection, and he will hang on to it.
Johansson, defensive work. Watch 4 and 23, top your screen. Puck comes loose off Holm, and Hofer sees it. Johansson knows behind him, moving his feet, engaging the legs. Lasund doing the same. That is just a fantastic battle in front. Sometimes hockey really just comes down to one-on-one physical confrontations, and that was one where Johansson came up on the right end of the fight. There's a little conversation as Worker had his helmet knocked off. They're trying to fix it, not in time, so we'll have to replace him.
Face off to the right of Starkbaum.
Their chin strap buckle needs to be replaced. Seen a few of those.
Slap shot, Bull scores! Christian Bull on a long dump in that Starkbaum perhaps should have played better. He holds it for a face-off, and a face-off win, and Christian Bull gets Norway on the board.
Clean win by Lindstrom, and Bull walks right into it. It's a rolling puck, and he slaps us on the roll, doesn't get underneath it or let it settle. Watch, great look at it here. He catches it flat, and it's bobbing and weaving, does not touch anything. Maybe Lindstrom was close, but maybe Rockenwald as well, but nothing doing as it just knuckles past Starkbaum. And Norway grabs their first lead of the tournament.
Von Saxon will try and swing this cross ice. Thoresen gets it out at center. It is Constitution Day in Norway, and they are well aware of that.
You'll see the ribbons on their coaching staff,
yes,
and on their training equipment staff.
It is a national holiday.
They made mention that it would be particularly fulfilling to get a win on this day.
Taken in the corner, played up top. Olam will send this back at the blue line. Lusund will drive it down low. And grab off, and Austria will regroup. Both teams will start a line change. Left in behind the net by Huntertfund, and now he'll make his way to the bench. Schlacker will send this up the middle. Herberger plays it for Schneider. Try to get it back for Herberger. Good interception there by Forsberg. Chance for Martin Roymark to the short side. And Starkbaum makes the save on that. Battle ensues for a loose puck. And stuffed in behind the net, Herberger's there. Herberger sends it up, and Raffel will send this out to center ice. Lusund will send it right back for Nicholas Roost, and he'll send it in. Takes a bump from Herberger. Norway completes the line change, and Austria back on the regroup. Back, Shumnig trying to take this off the sideboards, does. Plays this in behind the net, and Johansson's is on it, but the back referee.
Oh, too many guys on the ice.
So it will be a power play for Austria coming up as Petter Thoresen looks on.
Not pleased with that. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is not even close. Martinson's on the back check. That's not a change. That's just a miscommunication. And Kumar's trying to get another one, as that's more tangling up with Michael Raffel as he clicks heels with his teammate more so than Johansson. Looking for a 5-on-3, not going to get it. The 5-on-4 to start for Austria.
Roger Pedersen played in 5 Olympics. His last one is in 1994 in Lillehammer, which was 170 kilometers north of Oslo, where he was born. That's a lot of Olympic games for your country. Thomas Raffel over getting some attention at the Austrian bench. Austria's power play 1 for 8 so far in this tournament.
It's bad timing. One of your guys you want out there on the power play has got a cut. He has to get off the ice to stop the bleeding before he can return.
Puck not dropped fairly. They'll do it all over again. And Christian Forsberg will have a chit-chat there with the linesman. Your officials for this game, Jan Ribbit of the Czech Republic and Alexei Rantala of Finland are your referees. Dmitry Goliak of Belarus and Dustin McCrank of Canada are your linesmen for this game. This will get cleared down the ice. Austria back to regroup. The penalty kill for Norway, 9 for 14, 64%. So far in the 4 games that they have played. Everybody in this tournament has completed 4 games. As we get down to the final 3.
It's kind of see the finish line when you play in this tournament. The first week is a little arduous, kind of get your feet back underneath you and playing, and then the second week goes quick. You know what's coming up, whether it's qualification or elimination or the quarterfinal rounds, and that really turns quickly.
Austria has the Czech Republic on Sunday and then Italy on Monday. There's a chance shorthanded. Nicholas Roos with the opportunity and back up the ice for Howden. Howden will dish it for Herberger. Back for Howden, then back for Herberger. This gets played in behind the net. Up to the line it comes for Schlacker, and he tried to get it down low, and that's turned aside. And Schlacker will chase this back into his own zone. Sends this back into the Norway end of the ice, and he was on his own side of center, and that's going to be an icing call.
Pretty good job by Norway, tangling up the neutral zone, not letting Austria hit their routes. Everyone's skating through their lanes, but no passes available for Schlacker. Eventually just dumps it in. Internationally, they always call that icing line tight. In the NHL, you'll get away with a 4-foot buffer. Not internationally. You got to be on the red line or in front to avoid the icing.
Cleared up through center. Von Saxon breaks it up, plays it for Holos. And Holos will send this back. And back to regroup is Austria. Talk about 4 games completed for everybody. Germany leads Group A with 12 points. Herberger in with the shot. And that's off a stick. Or maybe he just missed the net completely. Herberger on it on the far side. Drops it at the line. Play back for Schlacker. Schlacker gives it back for Zwerger. Herberger looking to the front of the net. Power play over. Is in to serve the penalty was Reichenberg, and he'll have the puck and skated down the ice. Reichenberg passes this cross ice, and that gets tipped away. Good stick there by Zwerger on the backtrack. Austria on the regroup with Howden and looking for a change, so he'll just take this all the way back in behind his own net. Sondre Olden parks in front of Starkbaum, forces Howden to the far side, forces a turnover.
You wait all that time for everyone to make a change, and then you slowly drift out of the corner and dump it away.
Turned over, and Olden in front of the net, never shot it. Pettersson does, and that got blocked. Sondre Olden one-on-one with Starkbaum, and he tried to pass it off. Through center ice for Unterweger, on for Peter Schneider, slap shot, and home with the save, and he will hang on to it. 1-0, Norway with the lead. Christian Bull, the only goal of this game. Norway in front, 1-0.
Could have been too. Sondre Olsen all by himself trying to get cute, pass the puck around. The team has not scored many goals. Those kind of chances cannot be wasted.
Talk about this being the first lead for Norway. Austria had a lead for 42 seconds when Michael Rothel scored a shorthanded goal. Didn't last long. And these two teams looking for a victory. There's the turnover.
Terrible turnover by Komarek. And I mean, if you put on his forehand, Starkbaum's not going to have to move very much anyways. It's not even a ton of lateral movement. And I empathize. I have been there. What am I doing? What am I thinking?
That split-second decision.
Oh, and you think it'd be so great. You put in his wheelhouse and Thorson bangs it home and you're a hero, and you're like, that was just, oh.
Trentness with the wrist shot and Starkbaum the save. And Starkbaum not happy with the fact that Christian Bull may have got a little stick in there. There's the goal that Christian Bull scored.
He's already got a little stick in that puck. That is one goal. That is a knuckler, tough for the goaltender to read. Happens very quickly on a face-off. Clean win by Lindstrom. And a pick on the winger, not letting him get in the shot lane. They executed well.
Another face-off win for Lindstrom, but then good recovery there by Heinrich to knock it away, but Norway does regain control. Andreas Martinsen trying to get this down low, intercepted, and Palestrang will send this ahead. Obrist will carry it in. Good wrist shot by Patrick Obrist, and a blocker save by Henrik Holm.
Obrist with a nice rush. Plays in Kloten, Switzerland. A good team in a good league. 17 points in 26 games this year. So we put up some points in Switzerland. European leagues are always more difficult to pick up points. The second assists are very tight. So goals are goals. Even primary assists kind of have to be related to the goal. You can't chip it out in your own end, have someone skate 100 feet, put it in. You will not pick up the assist. So 17 and 26 is a good number.
Christian Forsberg to center for Roymark. Tried to get that back for Christensen. Offside called at the line. Russia and Switzerland leading this group here in Bratislava. Each undefeated, 12 points apiece. Czech Republic and Sweden right behind them with 9. Of course, it is 3 points for a regulation win. Latvia 6 points, and then Norway, Austria, and Italy with 0 points so far. Great Britain, no points. The only team on the other side without a point. France has 1. France playing Slovakia today. Up top, Germany 12, Finland 10, Canada 9, USA 8, Denmark 5, Slovakia 3.
It is a tangled mess over there. What is interesting, though, is that France and Great Britain play each other in the last game of the tournament, so winner of that game.
Hofer in front of the net, tried to get that to the back door, did, and a good save as Komarek had that great opportunity off the back post. Pettersson in on the forecheck. Pettersson ties it up along with Shumnig. And Austria up with it. Raffel couldn't get a handle on this one. Erland Lassun plays this back out to center and back inside the Austrian line. Hofer gets it back in, and Lassun will send this ahead. Volkve Olsen gets it to the line, and it came right back out. He brought it right back in. Offside called.
Another scrambled situation in front of the net for Austria. Komarek presents a target on his stick, but the passing lane wasn't available there, so it gets to his skates and then elevates just enough so he could not put a stick on it. Good look by Hofer trying to find a way to get it to his winger.
Shots are 6-5 right now in favor of Austria. Austria had a good third period against Sweden yesterday. They got 11 shots on goal. Yes, the game was over, and Sweden probably took the foot off the gas pedal a little bit, but nonetheless, it was still a good period for Austria, and hoping to carry that into this game this afternoon.
You're right. A rare half period of momentum. They haven't had that at all in the tournament so far. They've had their chances. Probably better chances than Norway has had.
Heinrich skates to center, floats this in. Henrik Holm will block it. Christian Bull sends it for Andreas Martinsen. Martinsen sends it cross ice. Chasing it down, Reichenberg, but it's cleared away from him and back up the ice. Some room for Huntertfund. Puts this back to the blue line. Strong will play it back down low. Intercepted by Bull and on for Martinsen. Andreas Martinsen sends it in. Starkbaum will stop it. Snaps it back up against the traffic. And grabbed off by Ganal. Ganal plays it in. Holos is there to break it up. Holos getting chased by Obrist. Plays it. Von Saxon will get it out at center, and Norway will start a change. Herberger stopped at the line by Von Saxon. Norway unable to clear, held in by Herberger. Forsberg takes a jolt from Thomas Raffel.
Watching these games, there is a lot of give in the glass and the boards. They really move when you get hit on the Raffel, flexing it.
Nicholas Roos takes a swing at the puck.
And generally speaking, that's a good thing. Helps absorb some of the contact, and guys don't have that stiff board, putting all the weight of the force of the hit into their bodies. It kind of dissipates a little bit with the movement.
Schlager sends that to the Norway line, right back up the ice. Thorson plays it down for Sondre Olden. Olden plays it behind the net. Palestrang will grab it off for Austria. Palestrang pressured by Mathis. Olam sends it ahead for Michael Raffel. Chance on the near side. Kamerick in. And a good save made by Henrik Holm. As Michael Raffel with the lead pass for Kamerick. Kamerick back in the lineup after missing a couple of games. And Christian Bull, your goal scorer, will play it back in. And Michael Raffel and Mathis Olam get tied up in behind the play, and Mathis Olam is in a whole bunch of discomfort. Norway already without Mats Roselli Olsen because of an injury. And we'll check in on Mathis Olam when we come back.
Back into action, 1-0 Norway. 8 minutes left in the first period as they had their captain, Mathis Olam, on the ground, writhing in pain after bumping Michael Raffel. Raffel actually went over and checked in on him as he went to the bench, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, what happened? Are you okay?" We watched the replays. Couldn't quite pinpoint what would be bothering Olam after that collision as much as it was. He did skate off under his own power, which is a good sign, and staying on the bench as well. So maybe it was just a stinger or something that's gone away.
He appeared to grab his right hip.
Grabbed a lot of stuff. He dropped the glove,
Yeah.
grabbed his shoulder, and his hip.
But again, we've seen a number of replays, and there's
Not much there.
no. Volkve Olsen trying to come up with a loose puck, and does. Slowly to center, in for Tretness, and Tretness with the wrister to the short side. Starkbaum turned that away. Tretness on it again, but Rockenwald is there to clear. And it's back out at center for Von Saxon. Skates it back in, drops for Hauge. Hauge with a wrister, that got blocked by Palestrang. Obrist carries in with Ganal, wrister by Ganal, and into the catching glove of Henrik Holm. 100 Funden mixing it up in front of the net with Andreas Martinson.
Chance here by Kamerick. Look at that, good hands on the poke while Lassoon reaches. He's in alone, he's going against the grain, looking for the chip. Yeah, I think he has him if he gets it all the way up under the bar, but mid-net, not quite high enough. Kamerick back in the lineup. His best asset is his speed, showing it off there.
And a penalty coming to Obrist as he got the stick up on Holos in behind the play. And as this gets touched by 100 Fund, play gets stopped and Obrist will go to the box. Referee skates over to check on Holos. And I think it'll just be a minor. Obrist is on his way back to the bench. In fact, he's already on the bench.
He's you know when you did it. It hit off the stick of Holos and caroms up into his face. And coming into the game, Austria had been shorthanded 26 times, the most in our pool. And they're not helping themselves by undisciplined penalties like that one. Put one hand on your stick, you start swinging it around, you lose control of it, find yourself in the penalty box.
Norway's power play operating at just 6%, 1 for 15. So this is the 16th power play opportunity. Played around the boards and out there on the loose puck is Thorson. Plays it for Jan Holosen, or Jonas Holosen, back for Patrick Thorson. For Mathis Olem, who's back out there. Olem with the shot. Starkbaum got the left arm on that.
That's a speedy recovery for Olem, good sign. He shook off what was ever bothering him, and it's amazing what a power play can do though to an offensive player's ailments.
Yes, credit to the athletic department of Norway for tending to that matter quickly as Mathis Olem back out of the power play. In behind for Thorson, on for Andreas Martinsen, on for Olem. Couldn't trap it, and the loose puck is taken, and this will get sent down the ice by Manuel Gnall, and he'll head back to the Austrian bench. Power play for Norway, 1:05 left, and Holos will wind it up. On for Sondre Olden. He'll play it through, get it back. Olden in. Nice little backhand chip pass from Volkve Olsen to send Sondre Olden in.
Volkve Olsen pops up a few times a game with a slick play with the puck to create something for a team that doesn't create much or has not created much. He's one of the guys you notice when he has it.
Johansson got stripped of the puck. Herberger plays it back into his own zone. On for Unterweger. Unterweger gets pressured, sends it across, and Shumnig will send this all the way down the ice with now just 20 seconds left in the power play. Johansson's misfires. Rothel tries to center it, came to the short side. And Austria with a shorthanded goal already in this championship, trying to get a second.
Chances generated off the rush. Two-man game here. Sondre Olsen kicks it out wide. Unterweger on the pivot, and Olden keeps his speed going through the gap. Backhand pass to space by Volkve Olsen. I'd love to see him pull this one hard to his backhand though. He could try to jam it to the far post. I think Starkbaum would have committed to the save. Not always easy to get there. You're going into traffic. You might eat the post, but that's where the goals are scored.
Richard Panik has Slovakia up by a score of 1-0. Panik. He's back to Panik now.
Don't know what to make of Slovakia being in the lead because they've scored first in just about every game they've played, and they've had a couple heartbreaking losses. 1 second left in regulation, lost to Canada. 30 seconds left, lost to Germany in regulation, and looks like they won't be able to make it through the quarterfinals when they could be in a very different situation had they held on for both those games in which they were leading in the third period.
Former NHLer Miro Shatan is the general manager of the Slovakian team. We mentioned this is Constitution Day, and it was signed in 1814 where Norway got its independence, very similar to Canada Day, probably on a bigger scale. There's parades. It is a national holiday, and lots of celebration going on there. And for the youngsters, maybe a day to remember, or by tomorrow, maybe a day to forget. You are allowed to eat as much ice cream and hot dogs as you can today if you're a child. What? Chance in front of the net and a sharp angle or a chance from the slot. And Starkbaum with a save, point-blank range off of Lasson.
You're going to take it to the commercial break. So I'm heading to Oslo real quick.
Yes. Bring back a couple of hot dogs. The ice cream probably won't last. 1-0 Norway. Another excellent crowd here in Bratislava. This tournament has been so well attended, and the fans have enjoyed every minute of it, even the fans of the teams that are still looking for their first win. These two teams, along with Italy.
Feels like the best attended event of the 5 or 6 that I've been to.
Yep. You always have some games where there's not very many people in the building. That has not been the case here. Schlacker at the line. Rockenwald got spun around in the corner. Howdem is on the loose puck. Played it for Zwerger. Zwerger was stopped on the play and back up through center ice for Lidstrom. And he'll send it inside the Austrian line, back up for Schlacker. He'll get the center and send it all the way around the boards. Deflected away by Espeland. Espeland now giving chase on Kameric. Kameric will play this back. Taken by Ganal. Ganal will dish it off at the line. Unterweger to the back door and unable to get enough on it. Off that backside was Huntertfun. Taken by Lusund. Volkve Olsen down low, jams his man up. Oberst trying to pull it out of the pile and does. Spilled on the play was Hauge, and Volkve Olsen will send this down the ice. And this will be an icing call against Norway.
Will be a tired group of defenders for Norway out there. They were battling, trying to find some offense. Soon this great chance, activating on the weak side all by himself on Starkbaum. Shot it like a defender. Maybe the crest. Says the forward.
Wasn't going to miss the net.
You're hurting your shooting percentage if you put it in the middle of the net.
Schneider sends this across. Raffel with the chance. Another save there by Henrik Holm. Kept in by Raffel. Christian Bull, the goal-getter in this game, sends it around. Espeland will get it to the line and no further. Austria back in on the attack. Pass for Raffel. He had to kind of come back to gather it in. And by that time, that allowed Norway to regroup.
Make a change. They were very tired out there for the icing, long stretch of their own end.
The IIHF induction ceremony will be held here on Sunday. And Jorgen Jonsson, brother of Kenny Jonsson, Mike Modano, Ziggy Palffy, Miro Shatan, and Haley Wickenheiser will be the players who will be inducted into the IIHF.
What a class. Best player of them all, Haley Wickenheiser. There's a Hall of Fame that involves hockey. She has to be in it.
Yes.
As one of the greatest women's player ever.
Spent some time in Finland, too.
Played with the men.
Yes.
Which is not surprising when you've been on the ice with her. She can certainly handle her own. Works for the Leafs now in player development, and the Leafs prospects will be well served to listen to her ideas. Jorgen Jonsson, former teammate of mine, he was the captain of my Färjestad team in Sweden. Very good player. Could have been in the NHL forever if he wanted to. Just chose to play in Europe and for Sweden.
Slap shot by Christian Bull. That seemed to give Starkbaum some difficulty. It was almost like a knuckler.
That's what Bull's got going today, the knuckles.
Scored on it, worked. Hofer gets chased back into his own zone. On for Patrick Peter. Peter missed one game in this championship with a suspension. And now into the final 90 seconds of period number 1. Norway in front 1-0. These two teams looking for win number 1. Polos for Bon Saxon. Bon Saxon will send the long pass looking for Mathis Olam. Olam ties up his man. That was Rockenwald, and now Rockenwald and Olam bark at each other. Steven Strong sends it ahead for Rockenwald.
If I had to guess, you might have some Austrians in Olam's ear saying, "Are you sure you're okay?" After his demonstrative fall and return to the game in a span of 90 seconds.
It was a power play, though.
Yeah, which I think he might have been trying to earn on the first collision.
Howdem on the near side. Sends this to the Norway line, no further. Split second, there was some room there for Reichenberg, but that closed off quickly. Zwerger turned it over to Andreas Martinsen. Andreas Martinsen to the line, no further, and now he and Rockenberger collide, and both go down, and both make their way to the bench in some discomfort. Rockenberg maybe got the worst of that, and Henrik Holm will hang on to that long wrist shot.
11 shots for Norway, 10 for Austria. Even game, what we thought we would see, what these two teams haven't experienced very much of. Tobias Lidstrom, the best offensive player for Norway. Big time statistics this past season. 48 games played, 44 goals scored. He's got a knack for putting them in. He's got a couple in this tournament already. Really shoot it. You watch him in warm up, and in 5 minutes, you're like, he's got the best release in the team. It doesn't take long to pick it out.
Von Saxon off the boards to the line, not out. Right down Norway, just trying to survive the final 16 seconds here.
You know what that call was? Glove pass.
In the offensive zone.
Everyone in St. Louis applauding that one. They will go again. Boston Bruins, congratulations to them.
Yes.
Sweeping their way through and facing a potential 10 or 11 day layoff. That's too much.
25th, it looks like, might be the
25th, 27th.
first possible days for the Stanley Cup final to get going.
If San Jose goes 6 or more, which it probably will.
Zdeno Chara might like the rest. Missed the game last night. Undisclosed injury in the first period comes to an end here. And Christian Bull with the only goal. Shots were 11-11 in the opening period. And Christian Bull, the only goal getter of this game, Norway, with the 1-0 lead.
Opportunistic strike for Bull off of one face-off, the only goal of the period. And some lack of finishing on some pretty good chances on both teams. Could have been more.
And Roger Pettersson rather, wants to have a little chat with the referee here at the end of the period.
Enjoy Bratislava even more with the Bratislava card. It's the best way to explore the city. You can get free admission to selected museums and galleries, free guided walking tour, unlimited travel on public transport around the city and region, and other discounts up to 50%. Buy your own Bratislava card. More information on visitbratislava.com or tourist information centers. media, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter using IIHF or IIHF Hockey and share your pictures, your photos. Don't forget to take a picture with your Oscar Montego.
Here's a look at Henrik Holm, who was perfect in that opening period, stopping 11 of 11. Henrik Holm coming into this 0-1 and a 5.26 goals against average into this game, and does get the start.
And Norway up 1-0. You remind yourself the importance of these games is not just another pool round-robin game. If you're able to win, basically between Norway, Italy, and Austria, one win, 3 points in regulation probably gets you into next year's tournament. So that's just what's on the line. It's very important for both these countries to try to pull a result out of this game.
Slovakia up on France 2-0, a late first period goal by Stukel.
Still not considering anything finished until that minor buzzer goes to Slovakia, unfortunately.
Statistically, in the first period, maybe the most impressive stat, face-off department for Norway. They won 65% of the face-offs. Heinrich in the slot, the shot that got tipped, and that may have ticked off the outside of the goalpost.
And that one of those face-offs led directly to the goal.
That was Tobias Lidstrom, who was 3 for 3 in the face-off department, I believe. He was the one that took that draw back.
And there you see Mathis Olum back in the lineup on the ice and shaken up in that first period. Long-time national team player. Plays in Skellefteå in Sweden, which is a good team and a good league. In the sense of the quality of player that he is.
Quite a few of the Norway players do play in the Swedish league. There's a shot that got blocked. Kamerick is after it. Kamerick getting chased there by Mathis. Olum gets it for Raffel, down for Hofer. He got tied up, and Olum on the loose puck. And in behind the play, we have a holding the stick penalty coming against Norway. So the second power play of the game coming for Austria. And Mathis Olum does not like the call.
He's not a happy camper out there. He wanted a penalty on the collision where he was shaken up, and now he picks up a holding the stick penalty in the defensive zone. Skating through, he kind of takes a cross check, then he pulls the stick right out of the Austrian's hand, but it was a cross check to the chest that he's got a problem with.
Perhaps a legit concern.
That one, yes.
They're down the ice. Norway relying on a couple of veterans. Alexander von Saxon, who's had a real good tournament, over 7 minutes of ice time in the first period. Erland Lasund, who had that scoring chance, also over 7 minutes of ice time in the first period. And another penalty coming to Norway. They are going to be down 2 men.
Schneider got taken out. And it's another that new rule. Late hit is a term we don't hear in the NHL. It is a new rule been put in the last year or so in the IIHF. And if someone doesn't have the puck, or is unsuspecting, or cannot protect themselves, you're not allowed to hit them. That hit would be allowed in the NHL. That would not be a penalty. Lasund's facial expression says, "What are you talking about?" It's a new rule, and that is the correct application of it. Schneider made the drop pass. He didn't have the puck anymore. Lasund had time to pull up and not make that hit. He just chose to because it's allowed everywhere else. Heads to the box for a minute and a half, 5-on-3 now.
What a chance for Austria. In front for Raffel. Henrik Holm with a good save. Back to the line. Kamerick dishes it off for Heinrich. Gets it back for Kamerick. Back for Heinrich. Doesn't shoot it. Side of the net. Michael Raffel with the attended tip. And that went wide. Kept in by Kamerick. Down for Peter Schneider. Schneider's pass tipped away by von Saxon. And this will come out to center ice.
Might just teeing up Heinrich a few times. He can really shoot and score from the tops of the circles.
Kamerick will carry it in. 5-on-3 for another 50 seconds for Austria. Slap shot by Schneider, scores. Peter Schneider on the one-timer.
I think he's still feeling the effects of that hit he took. Schneider shaking out his shoulders. The goal will make you feel better though. 5-on-3, they go to an umbrella, not a box in one. So Heinrich at the top, Schneider slides over, just a one-on-one shot. He pulls it underneath the blocker side of Holm and off the blocker and back in.
Holm actually got across. He was ready for the shot.
Shot was gonna miss the net. Shot was going wide. Holm pulled it back into the net. Peter Schneider gets Austria on the board and does it in good time as he heads down the tunnel to get his shoulders checked out. He was the one who took the big hit from the Sund that drew the 5-on-3. And he scored before that first penalty expired, so still a minute, 5-on-4.
Heinrich and Kamerick, the assists on the goal that ties this game up 1-1, and Austria stays on the power play. Second power play goal of this championship for Austria. Controlled by Fabio Hofer. Plays it at the blue line. Kept in by Herberger. He'll play it in behind the net for Hofer. Howden goes to the front of the net, back for Schlacker. Schlacker for Zwerger, for Hofer, back for Zwerger. At the line for Schlacker, the shot kicked away by Henrik Holm. And the rebound gets snapped all the way down the ice. Back in for Austria to the front of the net. Good down low play by Lindstrom to break it up. Schlacker the shot, that never got to the net. And Lindstrom will send this ahead for Andreas Martinsen. Martinsen trying to power his way in. Power play now over. But Austria capitalizing on the 5-on-3 to tie this game up 1-1. Lindstrom, Andreas Martinsen to the front of the net, and Starkbaum, who's had trouble finding pucks in his feet a couple of times today.
Tough call on the Soon, as it's a hit you've been accustomed to making. You played hockey for 20 years. That's a hit you've been encouraged and applauded for making. And now you get a penalty, put yourself down 5-on-3. Schneider scores. The double head nod in the Norwegian penalty box. And Peter Schneider heads down for repairs. Make sure his shoulder's feeling okay after that big collision.
Questionable call on the first one to Olam.
Yeah.
And then the
I
new
think correct
rule.
call, but a new rule.
Yeah, and then the new rule call on Lasson. But you're right, correct call. Raffel takes this wide. Raffel to the net, and Henrik Holm a big save. And then Henrik Holm gets run over by Michael Raffel. And neither official.
No indication of any penalty.
Nope. So Michael Raffel's been involved in a couple today that.
Nice move on Johansson. Oh, yeah, and it's Martinsen coming through there that bangs him in. Raffel takes a path that will slide him by the goaltender if he doesn't get hit. But he gets clipped by the feet of who was sliding through there, Reichenberg. That's a pretty heavy collision though.
Yep.
As Henrik Holm goes down.
Fortunately, it was the back of Raffel's leg. I don't think the
Not
skate
the boot.
caught him.
And in many ways, the heel of your skate blade is about as hard of a surface as you can find on a rink. When you get hit with the heel of someone's skate, it hurts more than just about anything. So Holm takes that glancing blow, stays in the game. But if you don't want guys to run in your net, guess what? Don't hit them into your goaltender. Martinsen coming back, Raffle up in the air, and he drives them towards the goalie. Just don't do that. Let them slide by.
Shot from Patrick Obrist for Strong, and that is held. Get another face-off.
Peter Schneider back on the bench. The goal scorer for Austria.
Had a breakaway against Henrik Lundqvist in the Swedish game, and
That'd be a good story to tell.
tried to go 5-hole, and Lundqvist shut it down on him.
Had dethroned the king on a breakaway.
Would have been a real good story had he scored, yeah. Strong, sharp angle, turned away by home. Christian Forsberg gets tied up by Hundertfund. Cleared back out at center, and Austria back to regroup. Starkbaum will leave it behind his own net for Strong. Strong being watched there by Roymark. Finds Hundertfund. Hundertfund the wrister off a stick and over top the net. Howden in for Ganal. Ganal trying to work it up the far side boards. Spins it back for Hundertfund. Oberst makes his way to the front of the net. Hundertfund plays it back to the line. The shot, and that got blocked as Patrick Peter unloaded from the line. Martin Roymark trying to jam his way in. Peter ties him up. Roymark shovels it down low. Mathis Olam going after it, but plenty of room for Hundertfund to skate this out. And offside called at the line. We'll get a stoppage as we near the 5-minute mark of period number 2 in a 1-1 tie.
Austria having evened things up, taking advantage of their power play opportunities. As their fan section excited, doesn't take much for the Austrian fans. Vienna, the capital, about 45-minute drive away.
So nothing has changed so far in the goals for and against differential. Austria minus 20, Norway minus 19.
My goodness.
Italy has the leader in that at minus 30. Sondre Olden works it free, and Mathis Olam will send this ahead. Johansson trying to break out. Cleared back in for Herberger, and offside will be called against Austria.
Herberger, one of the offensive catalysts for Austria. Always quick to the puck. He slashes through the seam nicely, trying to find ways to get in behind the defenseman. Keep your head up when you go up against this guy, on Saxon. There are 5 or 6 players in this game that play a more physical brand than everyone else. On Saxon, one of them Polos, the Raffle brothers. And you just gotta be aware when those guys are out there.
Cleared through center ice, and Raffle giving chase. This will be icing. Next up for Norway is Italy tomorrow. So another big game for them. As the fans enjoying some Friday afternoon hockey here in Bratislava at Andre Napella Arena. The 2019 IIHF World Hockey Championship. Polos at the line and not dropped fairly. They'll do it all over again. Lamar operating at 56.2% in the face-off department coming into this game.
I've liked Kamarek as a player. Second year in a row, I've seen him at the World Championship.
Polos takes this wide for Norway. Trying to work it to the front of the net. It gets deflected and back up for Michael Raffle. Michael Raffle will drop. Kamarek with a backhander. Holm got the left pad down, cleared that away. And back up the ice for Hauge. His rink-wide pass finds Volkve Olsen. Volkve Olsen will put the brakes on. He'll dish it back. Polos throws it to the front of the net. And Raffle will take it. Gets pressured there by Trepnis. And back out at center and cleared right back in again. Sent all the way around the boards by Unterweger. Polos ties Raffle up. And the puck grabbed off and cleared by Espeland. And back into the Austrian zone it goes, and Heinrich is there. For Howden. Howden takes a bump from Andreas Martinsson. Espeland plays it up the boards looking for Lidstrom. Jammed up in behind Henrik Holm. Austria up with it. Rockenwald trying to dig it out. Does. Centers it back out front. And unable to jam that in on that short side was Howden. Back up the ice for Andreas Martinsson. He got knocked down, gets up, has the puck. Lidstrom trying to get it to the front of the net, and it was just beyond the reach of Rockenberg. Cleared out to center, no further. Reichenberg after it again, and he got taken down in front of the net. Christian Forsberg is on it. Forsberg plays it back at the line. Rister from Lasund and that gets deflected up and out of play. 1-1, Austria and Norway here in the second. You mentioned Vienna. That is where Peter Schneider was born, the 28-year-old who has the power play goal here. And then we have play whistle down. Did this go off someone at the bench?
Hit on the curved glass at the bench. And Peter Schneider, the goal scorer. Just how I learned to do it. The USHL, the Indiana Ice. Prior to heading to university at Notre Dame, full 4 years there. A few years in the East Coast League, before coming back to Europe.
And play whistle down as Christian Bull was getting ready to unload on that one. That was like a replay.
That's my spot. Maybe we start running plays to get him the puck here rolling, so we can throw a knuckler at the goaltender.
Nicholas Roost wins another face-off. Johansson plays this down. Roymark works it up, plays it back at the line, sent down low by Christian Bull. And Nicholas Roost took a swing at it and couldn't get a stick on it. Cleared to the corner by Hunter at Fun, and now deflected out at center ice. Bit of a high hit, and play goes on as Christian Bull took a bit of a elbow up high. Played back in by Nicholas Roost. And it goes for Olam, and Olam's shot goes off the stick of Peter and out of play.
Starkbaum is trying to get the attention of the officials because he's not happy with all the digging going on around his crease when he's trying to freeze the puck. You mentioned how he's had some struggles finding loose pucks in his feet. He thinks he's been poked and prodded a little bit too much by Norway trying to get at the loose pucks.
Another face-off win, this one by Olam. Long shot, that goes off a body in front and just bounces wide of Starkbaum. Stolen now in the corner by Thoresen. With some help from Sondre Olden. Thoresen throws it to the front of the net. And that got blocked, and now a race for it. Holos is back for it, Raffles after him. And taken by Thoresen. On for Mathis Olam. Olam will get the center, sends it ahead for Holos. Holos to the front of the net, trying to find the stick of Thoresen there. And Raffle will carry it back. Tied up in the corner, works it back to the blue line. Schlocker with the shot, blocker, or the save made by Henrik Holm. Volkve Olsen couldn't handle it. Sharp angle try, and another save by Henrik Holm. And he'll hang on to that one from Schneider.
Schneider still looks like he's not feeling quite right. And he might be heading all the way down to the tunnel. Yep, he's heading back to the dressing room as he gets another shot, his third of the game. He's the shot leader for Austria through their 4.5 games.
Shots 8-1 in favor of Austria here in the second.
You know when you're not feeling good, heading right off the bench, bypassing the trainers and straight back to the dressing room.
You wonder if on one of these trips he may not return.
It's the second time already heading there this period.
Espel in the shot, and Starkbaum makes the save and hangs on.
See Starkbaum there? Makes a simple glove save, but he fires up his stick to act as a buffer zone. There you see it. left shoulder kind of cradled awkwardly. So Roger Bader will have to think of some new line combinations. Schneider had been playing with his first line with Herberger and Michael Raffel. A big loss as a right shot winger.
Heinrich will send this in. Taken off the boards and snapped out at center ice. Palestrang. Back for Austria. That play gets nowhere, and Heinrich will regroup. The long lead pass. Howden carries inside the line. That's as far as he gets. He got bowled over. Volkve Olsen will carry it in. And the quick shot by Volkve Olsen goes off of Heinrich and out of play.
Every time we come to these tournaments, we try to spot players from some countries that might not be heavily scouted, that may be the NHL scouts, of which there are several in attendance every night, might have their eye on. And Volkve Olsen, as a 25-year-old, played in Leksand, Sweden, had 18 goals in 49 games. If you could convince him to come over to North America on a two-way deal, that might be something I would look into.
It's the two-way deal that I think becomes the stickler.
Volkve Olsen doesn't want that. He doesn't want to play in the minors. If you gave him a one-way deal, if you're a wealthy enough club, you don't mind paying that guy $600,000 in the minors if he has to go there, perhaps. But he looks like a guy to me that is worth further attention, further evaluation, if you're trying to spot maybe a dark horse.
You talk about having to move some lines around with Schneider if indeed he doesn't return. Benjamin Baumgartner only played 35 seconds in that opening period. Played around into the behind the net for Henrik Holm. He'll let that go and stuffed up the boards on the right side. Reichenberg waits for it. Ganal trying to play it back down low. It comes to the blue line. Peter will play it back deep and off the corner boards for Ganal. He'll play it. Some room for Strong, trying to work it loose. Back to the blue line it comes. Peter plays this back down low. Pressure here now by Austria. And finally grabbed off by Johansson. Long lead pass deflected in by Andreas Martinsson. And back for it, Heinrich. 9 to go, second period. Herberger swings, and now he'll take the pass. On for Thomas Raffel, back for Heinrich, back for Herberger. He got stopped at the line by Christian Forsberg.
There's your Baumgartner sliding into Schneider's spot. As we predicted.
Herberger back for it. And starts the attack up for Baumgartner. And Baumgartner will put this off the boards and in. Von Saxon will take it for Norway. On for Holos. He'll delay out of his own zone. Up for Martin Roymark. Holos trying to drive this into the Austrian zone. Roymark takes it deep. Roymark to the corner now with Heinrich. Roymark trying to get it back to the blue line, intercepted by Kamerick. He'll lift it out at center. Espeland is there to lift it right back in. Comes strangely off the boards for Olam. Olam plays it back at the line. Lasson with the shot deflected in front. Olden got a stick on that, changed directions, and didn't miss by much. Michael Raffel will send it back in. And Lasson will send this ahead at center. Through for Sondre Olden, leaves for Mathis Olam. He had Espeland jumping in from that left point. Espeland does get a hold of it for Olam, takes a look, looking for Thoresen. Now does control. Olam forced to the backhand, leaves for Lasson. And back for Olam, doesn't shoot it. Gets it for Thoresen, back for Mathis Olam. Mathis Olam being watched by Kamerick. Picking up the chase is Michael Raffel. Kept in by Volkve Olsen. He drifts one wide. Espeland in from the right point. 7 minutes to go, second period, 1-1. Hauga, sharp angle, Tretness settles it down. Gets it back at the line, and another deflection. by Hauge. And again, it misses low glove. Espeland the shot from the line. Grabbed and held by Starkbaum. Chances for Norway, but it stays 1-1. Slovakia had a 3-0 lead. France has cut into that. It's 3-1. Shot from the line by Johansson, and this is held for another faceoff.
It's been a good push for Norway. We're on their heels for the first half of this period, but have had the play in the offensive zone the last 4 or 5 minutes. And several point shots for tips have worked, just haven't found the back of the net.
Shot up high on Starkbaum.
He doesn't mind taking them in the face. He jumped up and got popped on that point shot.
He was okay. The referee whistled it down because the referee saw that snap had come undone.
But he doesn't look to get out of the way. He jumps up, and this one's going over the net, I have to assume. Gets him in the chin. This one didn't break the clip. You can just pop it back on, and on they go.
Off the draw, Reichenberg the shot, and Starkbaum with a blocker save. We're off the shaft of his stick and up and down a play, and another faceoff coming up.
Starkbaum is feeling the momentum swing. He's feeling his team on their heels, so he's trying to settle things down, be extra crisp, communicate positivity, not overplay pucks in the defensive zone, take as many faceoffs as you need. Give his team a chance to change lines and keep this game at least tied.
He's now faced 88 shots in this championship. He's been busy. But in this big game, he is the goaltender that got the call. In fact, Dave Kickard, who we thought might be starting this game, is not even dressed.
I'm not quite sure how the coaches work the goaltender rotations, dumping in the third goalie on occasion for backing up, just to get him a game in the roster.
Henrik Holm was with Austria last year, but did not play. So this year is his first action. This is game 2 for him as we look at the veteran Holos, captain of this Norway team.
Not surprising to see him leading his team in ice time. He does most games. I remember him from Colorado. I remember rugged player, strong on his skates. Get into the battles.
Von Saxon up for Reichenberg, no room for him. Raffel back in behind, tied up there with Holos. Michael Raffel trying to get it free. Komarek down low as well for Austria. Raffel pulls it off the backboards. Good quick stick, finds a little room. Snaps this one in. It's at the side of the net. And now gets batted away. Kept in at the blue line though by Unterweger. Hofer sends this back in behind the net. Played up the boards, and this will get chopped out by Reichenberg. Unterweger winds it up. Gets to center and sends it in. Henrik Holm will play it up the boards on the near side. Palestrang for Austria jumped in from the left point. Does get held in. Another save made by Henrik Holm and grabbed off by Holos. Sends us ahead for Roymark, and offside called against Norway. 5:03 to go in the second period. The game tied 1-1. This game deadlocked 1-1. Christian Bull in the opening period. Peter Schneider here in the second period. Schneider's coming on a two-man advantage. Thorson swings this cross ice. Karams off the corner boards. Mathis Olam trying to get a stick on it. Can't. Patrick Thorson, 35-year-old veteran who's been through a lot of these games. Heinrich will play it back into his own zone. Palestrang on the loose puck for Austria. Tipped by Obrist. Icing gets waved off. Grinnell going in after it, but Von Saxon is on it for Norway. Ahead for Tretnes. And again, play stopped at the line.
Or Patrick Thorson is thinking there. When he sees the guy 8 feet inside the blue line, he just elects to skate in with it. No, do you want a line change?
Maybe fortunate they didn't bring it all the way back down.
Exactly. A little careless around the blue lines.
Nice face-off win there.
Going
by
forward
Hauga.
with it. Oh, that's a sneak. You hate when guys do that to you.
Tretnes drops it back. Volkve Olsen, the shot, and Starkbaum flashes the leather and again gets the lumber up.
Hauga's growing into an irritant as I watched him play throughout this tournament. Smaller guy, 5'10", but he gets around the net, chewing on that mouth guard. He seems to get under the nerves of the opponent, or on the nerves of the opponents. Starkbaum has now decided he's just getting a stick up on every save to make sure no one gets near him.
3-2 now over in Kosice.
Oh boy, we've seen this act before, unfortunately for Slovakia.
Christian Bull down for Andreas Martinson. Martinson got dumped on the play. And then Martinson came up with a bit of a high hit on Steven Strong. No penalty call on either. And Christian Bull plays it at center. Herberger knocked it down. So Schneider back on the ice. Schneider trying to drive that to the net. Turned aside by Holm. And it's bounced back out at center ice. Strong. Back up looking for Raffel. That failed to work. Here comes Hauga. Pocket pick by Herberger for Schneider. And Schneider comes near side for Strong. Strong carries it in. Misfires on the shot. It almost came back to him. And now played up for Andreas Martinson. On for Volkve Olsen. Volkve Olsen looking, has Johansson scores! Johansson, the defenseman, jumped up and somehow the pass from Martinson gets through. And then somehow the shot gets through. 2-1 Norway.
Broken play all around results with Johansson, the defenseman, slipping one in the backhand. As Volkve Olsen stops up, that's not a great pass. He puts it right into Peter Schneider, who kicks it back towards Johansson. Schneider reads this properly, just can't get a handle on it. And then back against the grain, a Starkbaum is sliding left to right. 5-hole gets open a little bit, catches his left foot, but the pad not sealed to the ice. And Norway takes the lead back again, 2-1.
Big goal. Neither of these teams with a high-powered offense, so every goal becomes a little more critical here.
For Austria, the only goal they scored was on a 5-on-3. Haven't had too many chances.
Into the slot, Hofer's shot, toes off the heel of his stick. Cleared to the line, kept in by Heinrich, came to the front of the net, and Henrik Holm is gonna jump on it and hold it.
It's a big goal for Johansson. Jumping up, pulls it to his backhand, and you see Starkbaum caught sliding. Does not have his left pad sealed to the ice. And that's all it takes, a little opening for Norway to take the lead. They've been waiting on this game, as has Austria. Chance to play a team that they think they can win against.
Johansson, 22 years of age, plays in Sweden, and that's a big goal. Mathis Olam leaves it at the line. This will get sent back down low by Patrick Thorson. Sondre Olden trying to work it up for Oleman does. Mathis Oleman, now we're going to have a crease violation with Sondre Olden, the guilty party.
Call made by Alexi Rantala from Finland. Sondre Olden trying to battle for inside position. And Volkve also tells Sondre Olden, that's how you do it behind the back pass, as Sondre Olden did not pull it off successfully in the first period. Big hit by Ganal as Lassoon's helmet's all askew. I had that happen before, where somehow your helmet somehow pops up and rotates, and your chin strap's behind your head, and your helmet's in front of your chin. I have 100% had that happen in an NHL game. Now, my option was to flick it off my head to play without a helmet. That's a big hit. Wow. Oh, Ganal get underneath Lassoon.
Lassoon a little vulnerable as he was feeding that pass up, a little bit off balance, and
on the one leg, and
he got finished.
Everett.
Battle along the boards in the Norway end of the ice with under 2 to go here in the second period. And now a collision at center ice as Reichenberg and Palostrang collide. And Reichenberg's slow to get up.
Those two guys bumping into each other, not looking in their directions.
And Reichenberg will make his way back to the Norway bench. Palostrang will now slowly make his way back into the play. He appears to be all right. He'll go to the Austrian bench as well. Brought in by Schneider. Peter Schneider trying to backhand that to the front of the net. Deflected away and up the ice for Lassoon. Up the center ice for Martinson, and he'll send it in, and that's off a stick and out of play, and a stoppage with 1:11 left in the period.
Chance for Austria as play breaks down. Hunterfon walks in, looks off his defenseman to back off Lassoon, and has a really good look. He thought his stick was broken when he saw the blade fly off. It was actually the defenseman's whose stick broke while trying to check. Hunterfon.
Two defensemen on the Norway team that I don't think have had a shift in this hockey game. Christian Kazastul did not have a shift in the first period. Don't think he's had one here in the second. And Matthias Norstabo did not have a shift in the first, and I don't believe he's been out here in the second either.
And Norstabo had been playing in the top 6 to start the tournament.
Back in for Raffel. Raffel to the line, and a good stick there by Thorson to deflect that away from Herberger. Herberger carries back in. Has Schneider with him and Michael Raffel as well. All the way to the left point. Strong will send it back in. Centering pass intended for Raffel. That got intercepted by Hauge, and he'll play it ahead for Olam. Olam sends it back in. Hauge after it. 20 seconds left in the period. Hauge gets rattled into the sideboards. Puck cleared up at center, but this will be intercepted by Forsberg. And Christian Forsberg will play it back down low. Hauge and Raffel get mixed up in behind the play. And the second period will come to an end. A 1-goal lead for Norway after 1, and a 1-goal lead for Norway after 2.
Tale of 2 periods. Austria controlled the first half of the second period. Norway the second half. 1 goal each, and Norway heads to the third looking for their first win, which would be huge with a lead.
And there's Alexander Reichenberg getting some attention at the bench. 2-1 Norway. 2 periods done.
So the second period is after a third because Stale, Norway better by 1 goal margin in Austria. Now I'm sitting in the Norway sector among Blondies from the north of Europe. So polar bears are playing very well. Are you satisfied, girls? How many times have you been in Slovakia? Is it your first time in Slovakia? 2019 IIHF Act. Fire statistics. Team statistics. And live updates. Available on all smartphones in multiple languages. The 2019 IIHF app, powered by Shogun. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play. Shogun. Syndica.
Welcome back to Bratislava. Jonas Holas has been the busiest man on the ice, 17 minutes and 29 seconds. He has played in this game. There's a look at Bernard Starkbaum. He has stopped 17 of the 19 that he has seen so far in this game. And Henrik Holm has stopped 21 of 22, and it's a 2-1 lead for Norway.
It's a big period for Norway.
Huge.
And for Austria. Norway can win this game. But they still have Italy on their schedule. So that gives them a good chance for that game. But really just one game, 3 points will get you back into this tournament next year, which is a difference in funding and prestige and development. A lot of different factors as to why it's so important for these countries to stay in the top group.
In on the attack, Henrik Holm makes the save as Palestrang let that one go from the left side, cleared out through center. Andre Olden giving chase. Sondre Olden couldn't get a stick on that, cleared back in for Raffel. Holas is in after him. Holas trying to find a little bit of room, plays it up the middle, intercepted and kept in. Unterweger spins and fires that one wide. Schneider from the near side takes a bump shot at wide. Early pressure here from Austria. Kamaric plays this behind the net. Raffel goes after it. Raffel wrapped up there by Nicholas Rule and just cleared up the boards and out to the blue line, but no further. Roost going back in after it. This gets snapped off the boards and Roost will deflect it in. Starkbaum will leave it in the corner. Roymark trying to work it free. And the battle continues and finally comes loose, and Kamaric plays it out of the traffic. Espelin stops it at center, back for Roymark, and Roymark will drive it right back in. Norway does have 8 defensemen dressed. 2 of them have not seen the ice, that being Kasselstuhl and Norstabo. It is Christian Bull who had the opening goal, who's kind of taken the spot that Norstabo had early in the tournament. Andreas Martinsen using that size. Martinsen looking to the front of the net. Lidstrom or Lindholm goes there. This gets deflected all the way back to the blue line. Lusson will drive it all the way back around the boards. And it's out at center ice and cleared in by Michael Raffel. And Henrik Holm will leave it.
Both teams coming out with a little pace to their game, sense of urgency, which is good to see.
Hauga sends it in. This gets gloved down. Rockenwald's pass got intercepted. Following up on the play is Howden, but this will be called offside against Austria.
Both teams play a defensive, counter-attacking style. They don't necessarily feel comfortable pressing the issue. It's a good start to the period for Austria in the offensive zone, trying to attack and get pucks to the net.
Tobias Lindstrom took 9 faceoffs in that second period. He won all 9. Christian Forsberg has won 9 of 11 in this game. Norway has won 63.6% of the draws. In across for Swerger. He'll drop it back. Rockenwald the shot. Save made by Holm, and he'll hang on.
I don't think Rockenwald got all of this shot. Stretch play up to Swerger. He stops it up. Rockenwald's trying to be treacherous, and a slash into the stick as he is releasing the puck, which is a good defensive play, not a penalty. Forced an abbreviated follow through, and Rockenwald really couldn't get all that he wanted on that shot. It was a good back check by Tretnes.
Eric Chernak has scored for Slovakia 4-2 early in the third over in Kosice.
Yet. And the fans will have to stay right to the end of that game.
Yeah. Not sure the lady's singing yet.
No, might be warmer. She might be warming up on Slovakia's tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah. Strong in behind the net, turned it over. Chance in front of the net for Patrick Thoresen. Thoresen has it again. And Thoresen gets dragged down, and there's a penalty coming. And Norway will go to the power play for the second time. And
Steven Strong's going to get it for Tripp. Could be a hold. What a chance for Thoresen in front. The guy you might want with the puck. Corrals it, just gets the bottom of the blocker for Starkbaum. And Strong, see the right leg kicking out in a slew footy kind of motion. A subtle pick prior to that put him in a tough spot, and he takes a bad penalty.
so how big will this power play be for Norway?
Grab one, knowing how Austria struggles scoring goals, could be huge.
Mathis Olem gets rubbed out on the far side by Schlacker. Lidstrom back for it, and he'll play this on for Jonas Holos. Back for Mathis Olem. Olem curls up in the corner and sends it back to the line. Holos plays it down low into tight quarters, and a battle for a loose puck, and it does come out. Thomas Raffel was open on that left side. Rockenwald couldn't get it to him, or maybe didn't know he was there. Holos on for Sondre Olden, and back for Holos. Johansson. Volkve Olsen, and he'll drop it back for Olden. Olden winds it to the line and in, and a bit of a late call, but Volkve Olsen getting in there just ahead of the play.
Trying to stack the blue line is Austria. And Petr Thoresen knows if they can get one here, they have a stranglehold on this game, up by 2. 5-2 now for Slovakia. Okay, I'm getting more comfortable now.
But is it enough?
It will not be. And this very strange things will have to happen for Slovakia. Had they been able to pull a point or maybe 2 out of the games against Germany and Canada, then there would still be things to be decided.
Clean win in this game will put them ahead of Denmark, but still behind Germany, Finland, Canada, USA. They've got some tough games coming up. Espelin plays this across ice. Johansson sends it back, gets it back from Hauga. 15 in the power play, and Johansson lets it go and Starkbaum will hang on to it.
Norway generating a little something on the power play, getting it out to the point, down on the net. They've had good sticks in front. A lot of tips that have been connected with, just not found the back of the net. Johansson's already got one on the night. There's another one in for Roymark to try to tip. Those high shots that force the goalie to stand upright when they're coming in are very dangerous. Any downward direction tip will likely go in.
No Tommy Christensen and Matt Roselli Olsen in this game for Norway, and no Raphael Wolf and Alexander Sion for Austria. Raffel carries in, power play over. So a good penalty kill by Austria keeps this a one-goal game. Forsberg on for Olden. Cross ice and in. This gets taken wide, curling up in the corner. Christian Bull, the defenseman, plays it down low, shot through some traffic by Mathis Oldham, and that hit a leg. Around for Olden. Back out there with Thoresen and Oldham. Olden trying to hold it in, can't. And good play by Bon Saxon to jump on that loose puck and send it back in. Cleared back up at center, and Oldham. His cross ice pass, that got blocked by Hofer. Mathis Oldham jumps on the loose puck and carries it in. Tried to get it to Patrick Thoresen, chops at it. It gets to Thoresen. Cross ice for Holas. He had some room, but he just couldn't handle that hard pass. Mathis Oldham in the corner. Back for Bon Saxon. Bon Saxon to the front of the net. Save made, and a good one.
Another tip.
Reichenberg in front to get a stick on that. And Starkbaum making sure this stays a one-goal game. Lindblom, or rather Lidstrom, will send this in. Reichenberg after it. After it in the corner, Andreas Martinson spins it behind the net for Lidstrom. He'll bank it at the blue line for Holas. Drives it back down low for Martinson. Andreas Martinson at the line. Slap shot by Espelin, hits a leg. And Michael Raffel is after it. And we'll see lots of the Raffel brothers here down the stretch, with Austria being down by one. Clearing attempt, hits the linesman. And now it's cleared back up at center. Trutness with some room. Trutness the wrister, and a blocker save made by Starkbaum. Heinrich takes it behind his own net. Heinrich gets wrapped up in the corner by Volkve Olsen. At the line, Espelin, and another deflection. And a good save by Starkbaum, as Trutness got a stick on that one.
The tip drill has been running at a high efficiency for Norway. All these point shots, they're getting a piece of.
Schlacker plays this up at center. Carried in by Obrist, puts it to the front of the net, deflected away. Schlacker on it, the long wrist shot goes wide, and Peter had floated to the middle of the ice, so that caroms all the way around and ends up back in the Austrian zone. Ganal at center. He got stopped there. Roost, no room for him, and it's back for Christian Bull. On for Johansson, sends it at center for Roymark, and it does get sent in. And Forsberg will turn and head to the bench on the change. Patrick Peter directs some traffic and sends the long pass ahead for Thomas Raffel. Holas, who may not leave the ice here in the third period. On for Thoresen, out to center, no further, and right back in, and Bon Saxon, Holos' defense partner, gets it for Holos, and he'll flip it out at center. Patrick Thoresen chases it down. Thoresen takes it wide on Herberger, centers, ends up on the stick of Raffel. Thomas Raffel with Mathis Oldham in pursuit, and Raffel lost it, and Oldham turns it right back up the ice. He tried to spring Thoresen, but it's intercepted. Right back in for Kamerick. Kamerick trying to get it to the line. Palestrang sends it back down low. Slap shot to the front from Heinrich, and that hit a leg and never got to the net. Heinrich holds it in for Schneider. Schneider on for Thomas Raffel. Raffel back for Schneider. Schneider trying to center. It's loose in front. Home save, score. Kameric. We're tied at 2.
Konstantin Kameric evens things up after an extended period of pressure. Lots of interchanges with the defense being active. And you see 3 guys, 4 following Schneider around the back of the net, leaving Kameric all alone on the side of the goal. Olam, Esplin, von Saxon, everyone there. Palestrang jumping down. He sweeps it over towards home, and Kameric tucks it underneath the arm. The whole play, the entire sequence started with a bad pass back to the point, and it was Palestrang who picked it out of the air. So shin high that kept the offensive zone sequence going, and 30 seconds later we have ourselves a tie game.
Kameric gets his first of the championship. Palestrang and Schneider will get the assist, so a 2-point game for Schneider, who's playing a little banged up. Christian Bull sends this at center no further, cleared right back in.
I wonder if this will turn into a NHL kind of game where both teams play for the 1 point and worry about the second one.
Here comes Christian Bull. Slides it in, Reichenberg goes in after it. Reichenberg getting some help from Volkve Olsen. Unterwerger trying to get a stick on it for Austria, can't. Back to the line, and the long shot by von Saxon goes wide. Holos after it, tied up in the corner. Hauge for Reichenberg. Reichenberg trying to work it to the net, scores! Alexander Reichenberg in his second World Championship has a huge goal for Norway.
What a response by Norway. After giving up the lead, they come right back. And Reichenberg, who's been banged around a little bit in this game as well. Good pull on the loose puck right here, kind of through his leg. See how he straddled the puck to allow himself to get into his forehand? Get a great look at it here. He's got to overskate the puck instead of trying to grab it. Off his backhand, through his legs, and then into a shooting position, and he makes no mistake with a beautiful release over the shoulder of Starkbaum. Nice skilled play in tight spaces by Alexander Reichenberg.
Plays in Karlstad, Sweden, and has a huge goal here for Norway.
My old squad, Farstad in Karlstad.
There was a World Championship that was in Sweden once. There were some games in Karlstad.
Where Jörgen Janssen, the International IIHF Hall of Famer, played most of his career.
Sent back into the Norway zone. Lasund trying to jam it there for Norway. Christian Bull into the pile as well. Puck squirts loose. Schlacker at the line. Being watched by Roost. Plays it behind the net. Came to the side, but this will get cleared away as Swerger couldn't get a shot through. Christian Bull back to center, sends it in. Swerger gives him a shot. 8.5 to go and a 1-goal lead for Norway. Schlacker. Is Norway trying to break the deadlock at the bottom of this pool? One of 3 teams still looking for a point. Scramble in front of the net and out of the pile. Holden comes up with it and clears it out at center. Back in for Strong, sends it deep. He'll charge in after it. Cleared by von Saxon, back out to center. In across the line. Huntertfun spins it back down low. Von Saxon is there. Von Saxon gets tied up with Ganal. Puck around the boards, and Patrick Thorson will knife this up the wall, but it's kept in, but only briefly. Holos read the play, skates to center, tried to gently send this down the ice. And they're going to wave off icing as Reichenberg off the bench gets there to negate that. Big play by Reichenberg. Andreas Martinsen gets knocked down at the line. Pile up in front of the Austrian bench. And now a good play as this gets stolen at center ice by Johansson and sends it back in. At the line, sent back in by Christian Bull. Reichenberg takes it in the corner. Sharp angle try by Andreas Martinsen. Johansson sends it down low, under 7 now to go. Penalty coming up. Andreas Martinsen gets hit into the backboards. And a power play coming up. Off the backside, Christian Bull scores. Christian Bull on the delayed penalty.
Nicely done by Norway, recognizing the delayed penalty and then working a play off it. Martinsen does all the work along the wall, draws the penalty, and Olam comes off the bench. No one's accounted for him because they're not supposed to. And once you recognize, as Bull does, a delayed penalty is being called, you have free reign to go wherever you want. Release down the back door. What a pass by Olam. He splits it right through Schneider's feet onto the stick of Bull. Right here, look at that, right through number 3's legs. And Bull just has to chip it up and over a sprawled out Starkbaum for the first 2-goal lead of the game.
So Austria will have to open it up now as they're down by 2 with 6.5 to go. Bounce to the line but not out, and now it does get cleared out by Tretnes. Volkve Olsen in for Tretnes. Tretnes with the wrister, Starkbaum the save. Shumnik couldn't handle the loose puck as it's stripped away from him. Hauga's on it. Hauga puts it behind the net for Volkve Olsen. Kameric takes him to the corner boards. Volkve Olsen stays on it. Bump there. Raffel takes a bump from Hauga. Puck comes loose. Raffel had it, lost it. On the line change, here comes Martin Roymark. He'll send it around. No one there in a white jersey, and Raffel will take it. Michael Raffel to center. He'll wind his way in. He'll drop it back for Palestrang. His pass intercepted. And Roymark will just make sure this gets out.
Norway will stack 4 at their own blue line and try to deny entries as best they can.
Drop pass, wrist shot, Henrik Holm the save, rebound off the post. Now the net gets knocked off, so it may or may not have counted had it gone in, but it catches the post on the near side. 4-2 Norway.
.5:21 left in the third period. Norway up by 2. Austria has to push for offense now. We'll watch for their goaltender. We saw Bob Hartley pull his. Well, lots of time left.
And here's where we talked about Norway winning 63% of the faceoffs.
Yep.
Here's where it becomes important. Their faceoff success will be key if they want to preserve this victory. Shot to the short side, Holm the save. Johansson, who has a goal in this game. 3 of the 4 have come from defensemen. Christian Bull has a couple, Johansson has the other. Back at the line, Palestrang gets it down. Rockenwald tried to get it to the front of the net. And then Reichenberg with the other, and a big goal that was, as it snapped the 2-2 tie. Johansson around for Christian Forsberg, who runs some inside interference, and there is going to be a penalty on Christian Forsberg.
Could have gone either way. This could have been a hold, but you called it correctly. Forsberg trying to set a pick, takes the ice away from the Austrian player. Hadom skates through his legs, he goes down. And now, what do you do? 4:38 on the clock. You leave the goaltender. There's the one that Hadom knocks through home and off the post. I think that probably would have counted at the end of it, but no matter. Missed the net. I think I let my power play get through the first minute. And then on full possession, I might pull the goaltender for the second. I'm still down 2.
Well, we'll see how aggressive Roger Batter gets.
Heinrich passing to Raffel, who'd already dropped the stick. He's trying to find a back door off a scrum draw. And Michael Raffel had lost his twig and was not able to get a handle on that.
And Heinrich can shoot the puck.
I know, I'm surprised that he wouldn't elect to fire that one.
Roger Batter trying to argue that it was grabbed out of the hands of Raffel.
To make matters worse, Raffel knocks the net off, and faceoff will come outside.
Tried to kick that in, I guess, give him credit, but
you can direct it. You can direct it.
Yeah. Back in on the attack is Schneider. 2-point game for him, Thomas Raffel. The two Raffel, Schneider, Kamerick to the near side for Kamerick. He'll play it back at the line for Schneider. Power play here for Austria. They're down by 2. Kamerick dishes it off. Heinrich for Schneider, and the shot went wide. Heinrich on it again. Down for Kamerick. Kamerick into the slot, plays give and go with Thomas Raffel. Back up top for Heinrich. Heinrich the shot, and that goes off of Tretnes and into the netting.
Good block by Tretnes, getting in front of that one as it's becoming decision time. Roger Bader, 3:50 on the clock, 1:12 on the power play. Gonna roll the same 5 with Thomas Raffel in the bumper position. He's not much of a threat as a left-handed shot, so you don't need to overreact when the puck comes from the half wall into number 5, Raffel in the middle, because he's got to turn, pivot, and shoot, and you can recover. Don't need to jump that hard. Not a threat as a left-handed shot.
4th power play of the game for Austria. They do have a power play goal. Came in a 5-on-3. And Kamerick, who is the best face-off taker for Austria, takes this one, but an easy win for Lindstrom, and this gets cleared down the ice. And since the start of the second period, Lindstrom has been unbeatable in the face-off department for Norway. Raffel carries it in. 53 seconds in the power play. Schneider for Raffel. Michael Raffel for Kamerick. Kamerick trying to find a lane to the net. Von Saxon with the long stick. Back at the line for Schneider. Kamerick! It was set up there, and Kamerick couldn't find the open side.
What a return pass from Schneider. Comes through the first time. He's a shooter, he's gonna shoot it. No, he goes back through and blocked by Von Saxon. Lots of net to shoot at as Holm was stuck on the wrong side, bailed out by his defenseman. Homework does what you want. He gets it up in the air. It's gonna be the top half of the net. Likely gonna be a goal. Von Saxon with a big shot block.
Goalie stays in, no timeout called. The second power play unit will come out for the final 30 seconds of this man advantage for Austria.
I think I would have taken the goalie out there.
Andreas Martinsen jammed it up for a few seconds. Schlacker at the line for Zwerger. Zwerger back for Schlacker. Near side Herberger. Herberger into the slot. One touch back to Zwerger. Zwerger's shot got blocked and grabbed off and carried down the ice by Christian Bull. Bull 2 in the game, looking for 3, and he snapped it wide. Back up for Hofer, in for Herberger, and Herberger's shot may have ticked off the glove of Holm. And a blast from the left side sails all the way around, and power play is over. And Olden will bounce this in on Starkbaum, who will hang on to it. 2:23 to go. Norway up by 2. Norway, the favorite in this game. Norway ranked 9th coming in. Austria ranked 17th. And Norway with a 2-goal lead. Olem trying to play this back into the corner. It got intercepted. Belarus will be coming back next year along with Kazakhstan, as they both a tournament that ended May the 5th, as Henrik Holm will hang on to this. And a timeout now being called by Roger Batter.
I don't see why you wouldn't take the goaltender out. You can't imagine that goal differential would factor in a tiebreaker with Italy.
Correct.
They play Italy in the last game, does Austria, of the tournament. And so the winner of that game will go forward, and the loser will be relegated, whether it's in regulation or overtime. It won't matter what the goal differential will be. You'll both be no wins heading into that game, and head-to-head, winner goes on. So
right now they're +8 against Italy.
But you're going to play each other, so it doesn't matter. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head.
Correct.
You cannot end that game tied. Someone's going to win it. If you both end up at that game winless,
the goal
with
differential,
no points, goal differential out the window.
Exactly.
Someone will get 2 points. That team will win. That's why I would add Starkbaum out during the power play, because who cares if you give up another 2 or 3? It's all going to come down to the last game against Italy, unless you get points out of this game.
Forsberg hunkers in for the face-off. Net is empty. 6 attackers, and he wins the face-off from Kamara. Polos ties it up. 2 minutes now left to go. Polos wraps his man up. Zwerger trying to get it loose. Howdem for Kamara. Kamara plays it back to the line. Raffel back down for Kamara. To the goal line it goes. Zwerger gets it back from Kamara and gives it back to him. Kamara, Heinrich, Schneider. Schneider doesn't shoot it. Heinrich at the line. Kamara, the shot deflected in front by Thomas Raffel high. Thorson pressures on the far side. Kamara lets it go. Henrik Holm the save. Where is it? Bounces around, and Mathis Olem manages to jam it back to the line. Christian Forsberg, Von Saxon gives chase. Polos trying to wrap up Michael Raffel. Zwerger at the line. Kamara back down low it goes. Schneider, Zwerger, Schneider. Heinrich at the line, lets it go, scores! "50 seconds left, it's a 1-goal game.
And so the decision immediately has to go to, do we put the goalie back in for the faceoff at center ice, or do we keep him on the bench? Looks like they will be putting him back in at the hash marks as Dominic Heinrich scores the goal. We've talked about how well he can shoot. And you get a sense of it on this one. A back heel wrister through traffic. Good luck for Holm trying to find that one. He gets to the right side, but can't track the puck. Schneider will pick up another assist in his strong game. That'll be 3 points for him. And the deficit now at 1. We'll go back to the face-off strength of Norway. I don't think anyone touches that on the way through. If you can win this in your Lidstrom and get it down to the offensive zone, well, now Norway will have about 30 seconds to work with instead of 50.
He wins it, but it gets mishandled by Christian Bull. And now
That's
Bull
it.
off the boards. Hat trick for Christian Bull on the bank shot from his own zone.
What I don't understand, if you're going to leave the goalie in, presumably you want to leave him until you get possession. If you're going to pull in the second the puck is dropped, why not pull it before you even drop the puck so you have someone chasing in case you lose it? I don't get the strategy there. Now it's incredibly lucky for Christian Bull to bank this from his own end. Would have been an icing, could have been an offensive zone faceoff, but still the flawed logic in the execution of the goalie pull. You're not doing anything there. You've lost the draw, you've taken your goalie out, and you don't have the new guy coming on to pursue a lost puck.
Right.
You're hurting yourself on multiple fronts. So Christian Bull, I can't imagine when the last time he, if ever, has had a hat trick.
The 22-year-old
having a night, going to punch his country's ticket on their national holiday to a very likely return trip to the World Championships next year. And Starkbaum out again on the bench with 33 seconds left.
It's a 5-3 game in what has been a battle between these two teams. Kamaric with the shot, and that gets deflected up.
Into a pretty entertaining afternoon game. Thought it might with two teams who have a chance to win for the first time. Norway 27.5 seconds away. Christian Bull.
First game of the tournament, he played 4 minutes and 3 seconds.
He's earned his way up the depth chart with performances prior to this and with this one as well.
His minutes played will be way up in this one.
See a 22 minutes next game.
He has had a terrific game. This has been a great day for Norway. Bounced out at center ice and 5.4 seconds left to go in this one. Well, before the game, they talked about Constitution Day, and there would be no better day to pick up your first win at the World Hockey Championship, and Norway has done that.
It's a meaningful day. It would resonate with the players. Hopefully they play any harder because of it, but they'll be really happy to reward themselves, their federation, their country with a big win.
A lot of people at home watching. It is a national holiday. And this one comes to an end. And on the strength of a hat trick from Christian Bull and strong net minding by Henrik Holm, as Henrik Holm stops 31 of 33, or 30 of 33, and Norway wins it 5-3.
Big win for Norway. All smiles. The first game they played a team that they thought they could win, that they probably should win, and they do that. Christian Bull, the unlikeliest of heroes, a hat trick from the 22-year-old defenseman, leading the way for Norway.
5-3 your final. Norway picks up its first win at the World Championship.
International, the 2019 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship sponsor. Dámy a páni, najlepší hráči stretnutia budú teraz ocenení od Raiffeisen Bank International, sponzora majstrovstiev sveta IIHF v ľadnom hokeji 2019. The prizes will be presented by Mrs. Michaela Grendelova, Head of Communication of 2019 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship Organizing Committee, and by Mr. Peter Hruby, Director of Central Procurement of Tatra Banka, member of Raiffeisen Group. Ceny budú odovzdávať pani Michaela Grendelová, riaditeľka komunikácie organizačného výboru majstrovstiev sveta, a pán Peter Hruby, riaditeľ sekcie centrálneho obstarávania Tatra Banky, člena Raiffeisen Group. The best player for Team Austria, najlepší hráč týmu Rakúska. Number 67, číslo 67, Konstantín Komarek. The best player for Team Norway, najlepší hráč týmu Norska. Number 21, číslo 21, Christian Bull. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise now for the national anthem of the winning team, Norway. Dámy a páni, na počesť víťazného týmu zaznie štátna hymna Norska.
Christian, what did it mean to the team to be able to listen to your national anthem on Norwegian Constitution Day?
It was a perfect moment for us to win this game and take three good points for us. So just have to clear our heads and be ready for tomorrow. It's a huge game tomorrow too, so that will be important for us now.
And for yourself, 3 goals on the day. What was working out so well for you offensively?
I don't really know today. A little bit of luck there, but sometimes it's just bouncing in, so really fun.
Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Patrick, a hard-fought battle between the two teams. What was the difference in this one for Norway?
I think it was our D-zone coverage. We lost our guys a couple times. Yeah, we got to play a little bit better defense if we want to win games. I think offensively we did a better job today. We created some chances, and yeah, we got to do a lot better Sunday and especially Monday.
For yourself, I mean, a goal and assist on the day. You managed to leave the game with an injury, come back and play. How are you feeling, and will you be able to compete moving forward?
I don't really care much about the points. I really wanted to get the win tonight, so yeah, still disappointing.
Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.